Alright everybody, welcome to the last NBC game of the week for the month of August. We're at August 28th at Fenway Park, Boston Red Sox and California Angels. Before we start the game, let's look at the standings, up-to-date standings via the Strat-O-Matic computer. In the National League, Montreal has increased their lead over Chicago to 3 games. Pittsburgh is 7 back. St. Louis really fading 9.5 back, pretty much out of it. I think Montreal's got that locked, but you never know. There's still, games to be played, but it doesn't look very promising for the National League East teams because Montreal seems to be the one that's going to pull it away. Dodgers, of course, blowing everybody away in the West, so not really much of a pennant race there. So most of these games in September are going to be focusing in the American League unless Montreal plays Chicago or something like that, or Pittsburgh or St. Louis make a run and get it close. In the American League, the Yankees lead the Red Sox by a half game. Milwaukee's a game back and Baltimore is 5 games back. So 4-team race there in the Eastern Division. In the West, it's a 3-team race, the White Sox, the Angels, and the Royals. So today's game fits 2 second-place teams, the California Angels and the Boston Red Sox from Fenway Park. All right, let's get the starting pitchers for both teams. For the Red Sox, it'll be the lefty John Tudor. He was 13-10 with a 3.63 ERA in 1982. He'll be opposed by Mike Witt, 8-6, 3.51 ERA in 1982. All right, let's look at the starting lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting California Angels, it'll be Brian Downing in left, Rod Carew at first, DeCinces at third, Don Bale at DH, Juan Beniquez in right, Bobby Clark in center, Bobby Grich at second, Tim Foley at short, and Bob Boone behind the plate. You notice other than Rod Carew, all the other batters are right-handed, so they're going with that platoon advantage against John Tudor. For the Red Sox, it'll be Remy, Evans, Rice, Yastrzemski, Lansford at third, Boggs at first, Nichols in center, Stapleton at short, and Allenson behind the plate. Weather effects: singles 1-19 for both left and right. Home runs, left are 4, righty 1-10. And as was suggested by someone from the previous video, looking at the catcher arm and pitcher hold combinations, Mike Witt and Bob Boone combined to a -5. John Tudor and Gary Allenson combined to a -6. Of course, you can't have a -6, -5 is the best you can have. But that just tells you how good they are. So running game for either team, you're going to be taking your chances because you're going to be going against some pretty good competition as far as holding the runners and as far as the catcher arms. All right, so those preliminaries out of the way, I think everything is set to go. This is the August 28th game, 1982. Next week has already been determined. It will be the Royals and the White Sox. I'm sorry, that was the game before. It's actually going to be the Yankees. In fact, I'll show it. I've got it on the opposite side of the score sheet. Next week's going to be the Yankees and the Royals, September 4th from Kansas City's Royal Stadium. And again, the reason why we're doing the Yankees and the Royals next week, kind of self-explanatory. Royals are right here in the thick of things, and the Yankees lead the East. So you might be saying, why are you showing Yankees in Boston all the time? Well, at least on the Strat computer, they are right in the running. And they happen to be playing each other, so that's just the way it goes. And they were Saturday afternoon games during the 82 season. Not sure if they were on NBC, but that's just the way they were playing it out. All right, so John Tudor finishing up the warm-up tosses, and he'll be facing Brian Downing, the left fielder. And this game of the week, August 28th, 1982, is now underway. Boston won the real game 7-6. See if they can repeat history. That's a 2-4 for Downing. All these hits in column 2, and he found a fly to center. So John Tudor gets an easy out as Reed Nichols puts it away. 1 away for Rod Carew, the only lefty in the lineup. And even Rod Carew doesn't hit lefties as well as he does righties, but he hits them well enough to stay in the game. Tudor 1-5 for Carew, and he draws a walk, which Carew did many times in his career. He does it here. Now, you can try to get a jump all you want, but I'm telling you, it's a -5. So even if he got the jump, he'd be down to an 8. So they're not even going to try it. They're just going to hold him there. Boston will hold him on, but he's not even going to take the chance. So we'll roll in case there's a balk chance for Tudor. There's not. So we move on to Doug DeSensei, third baseman. 1-3, and that's another walk. So all three results have been off the batter cards, and Tudor has now walked 2 in a row. And I think he had pretty good control in real life, but when you get him off the batter's cards, there's not much you can do about it. So runners at first and second, 1 away for Don Baylor. Again, the roll, that's a 1, but there's no wild pitch number for Tudor, so we skip that. There's Baylor, 3-4, again off the batter card. It is a ballpark single check, which is a 1-19. That is a 19. It is a base hit. It's only 1 star. The bases will be loaded. But that's all 4 at-bats now have come off the batter card. So John Tudor has not had a chance yet to do anything. So let's see if he can get it done. Bases loaded, 1 out. Infield playing double play depth because Beniquez does have some ground ball A's on his card. Nothing on the strategy roll. Tudor to Beniquez. Again off the batter card. 1-11. It's a ballpark single again. There you go. Base hit. And Tudor's just shaking his head. What can I do? I have no effect here. So that's one of the biggest complaints about Strat, I think, is in the whole 50-50 engine is you get these, I mean, odds are you're not going to get 5 rolls in a row like that, but we just got them. So what are you going to do? Just have to plow through it, I guess. All right, Bobby Clark, center fielder. Nothing on the Havoc. Tudor to Clark. And we skid off the batter card again. 1-3. It's a ballpark home run chance. Right-handers are 1-10. That's a 10. It is gone. A grand slam home run for Bobby Clark. And again, John Tudor has not had any say in this game whatsoever. And all of a sudden, it is a 5-0 Angels lead here in the top of the first. And John Tudor is beside himself, as is their manager, Ralph Houck. But not much you can do about it. Here's Bobby Grich. Finally, we get off Tudor's card. 5-2, and that's a ballpark home run chance. However, that's an 11. So it's a failed home run chance. It's a fly to left. And Tudor just barely misses, giving up back-to-back jacks. Here's Tim Foley, shortstop. 2-7, and that's a 1-18 single, but that's a 19. So Tudor catches a break to line out to short to end the inning, but a big 5 spot put up by the Angels here in the top of the first. Again, the game is in Fenway, so you're almost never out of it when it's at Fenway because the ballpark can, as you just saw in the top of the first, yield many good results for the offense. So here's Mike Witt. He's going to enjoy a 5-0 lead to start the bottom of the first. Here's Jerry Remy. 4-8 for Witt. That's a 1-7 single. That is a 1. So Jerry Remy, lead off single, and down 5-0. He's not even thinking about it. They will hold him, but he's not really thinking about running right now. They need base runners and they need hits. Here's Dewey Evans. That's a 5-4, which is a catcher X. That's Bob Boone. Boone is a 1 E3. 1 and an 8 for the catcher. 1 and an 8 on a catcher card is a pop out, straight old pop out. That's a 14, and he is an E3. No 14 there, so straight old pop out, and that's out number 1. So Dewey Evans puts it right up the chute. Boone puts it away, 1 away. Here's Jim Rice. Have it for Mike Witt. Nothing happening. 3-7. That's a ground ball shortstop 8. It's a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. And Mike Witt just pitched himself a nice first inning and enjoys a 5-0 lead as we go to the second. Tudor Had he given up 6 runs, would be tired already by rule, but he only gave up the 5, so he's still okay. But he's got to really bear down here. Bob Boone will lead off. He is the number 9 hitter. 3-8. Again, we're off the batter card. I said I'm off a Tudor's card. 3-8, a 1-11 single. That's a 7. Base hit for Mr. Boone. So Tudor is just not getting the rolls to go his way. Here's Brian Downing. Havoc roll, nothing happening. Tudor to Downing again off the batter card. 3-3 is a hit by pitch. So Tudor plunks Downing, but not his fault. And here's Rod Carew. This might be Exhibit A for the 50-50 engine. I don't know, because Tudor sure is catching hell. Here's Carew. This time we're off Tudor's card. 4-6 struck him out. Makes a big difference when he calls off his own card. He strikes out Rod Carew, who does not strike out often. Only struck out 49 times in 523 at-bats. But he struck out off the pitcher card. So there's one away. And it'll bring up to Sensei. Nothing happening. 3-7. We're back off the batter card, and DeSensei makes Tudor pay. 3-7. A 2-20 is a double. That is a double. So a double to center field. And that will score Boone to make it 6-0. So Tudor is now technically tired. But we're going to keep him out there. It's just the second inning. Let's see. Bruce Hurst is the long reliever for this game, if they need one. Let's see. The double is assumed to go to center field. Center fielder is Reed Nichols. He's a -3 arm. Downing runs as a 12. He was a trail runner, not being held, makes him a 13. But the -3 drops him to a 10. So with only 1 out, they will hold him at third base. So runners at second and third. 1 out for Don Baylor. And do you play the infield in? Do you walk Baylor and pitch to Beniquez? What do you do? I think they're going to play the infield in. And hope he doesn't hit a dot either. That's the other thing. 2-9 for Baylor. That's a single to left. There is a clutch symbol there, but there's not 2 outs. There are only 1 out. There is only 1 out, I should say. So the single will stand. Single to left field. And that makes it 7-0 to Sensei. Let's see, left fielder for Boston, Jim Rice, has a -1 arm. To Sensei, as a trail runner, was not being held, makes him a 14. The -1's a 13. But I think, again, with only 1 out, you're going to hold him here. And it is now 7-0. And I think that's going to be it for John Tudor. He's just having bad luck. That's about all you can say about it. Just count it up as bad luck. And Louis Aponte will be coming on for the Red Sox here in the second inning. And who would have thunk that? Louis Aponte is on with runners on the corners, 1 out, and Juan Beniquez the batter. Baylor will not be held at first. 2-8 for Beniquez. That's a ground ball, pitcher B. And the infield was in. So let's check the result on the chart, super advanced chart for base running. When you have runners at first and third with a ground ball B, you get a 7. It says batter safe. And lead runner is out. The other runners advance a base. So lead runner is going to be out. So DeSensei is going to be out 1-2 as Allenson puts on the tag. Baylor will go to second base. And Beniquez reaches on the fielder's choice. There are now 2 outs. Score still remains 7-0. And here's Bobby Clark with that grand slam. First time up. 1 chance for a wild pitch, which his rating is a 2. There's no wild pitch. So here's Clark. 1-7 struck him out to end the inning. So 2 more for the California Angels, and they now lead at 7-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. And Red Sox Nation a little chagrined right now, but they still have 8 innings of batting to get their offense in gear. And Captain Carl Yastrzemski, going to give him a shot to see what he can do. Against Witt, 4-6. That's a fly to right, one away. And notice Witt is getting some of the results off of his card, which is why he's doing so much better than Tudor did. Here's Lansford. 3-7. Lansford against a right-hander, ground ball to short. 2 down as Foley put it away. Here's first baseman Wade Boggs. 4-9, and that's a single. So Boggs gets the 2-out single. He won't be held. He's not going to go anywhere, down 7-0. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Here's Reed Nichols. 6-10, and that's a strikeout. So Mike Witt cruising through 2 innings. It's 7-0 still. And Aponte back out. He's going to go as long as he can. Then I guess they'll turn it over to Bruce Hurst unless the Red Sox get closer. Then they will probably go to Bob Stanley. Let's see how they want to play it. Here's Bobby Grich against Aponte. 3-8, and all these hits in column 3, and Grich found a ground ball to second. So 1 away. Here's Tim Foley. 4-8, and that's a single to center field for Foley. 1-out single. Foley will not be held. Certainly not going to try to go anywhere. 7-0 game, so you're not really running this kind of game right now. Here's Bob Boone. 6-10, and Aponte, that's a ballpark single check, which again, a 1-19 comes through. Fenway does it again. First and second, 1 out for Brian Downing. Nothing happening. 5-10, that's ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop is Stapleton. He's a 4.22, so not very good. 4-19 though, he catches a break. 4-19 is going to still be a possible double play ground ball. That is a 13, and he's an E22. No 13, that's a good play. So it's a 6-4-3 double play ground ball to get out of the inning. And there's finally a 0 in the run column for the Angels. So we go to the bottom of the third. Still 7-0 in favor of the Halos. So they've had Downing has batted 3 times already. Stapleton hasn't hit yet. So that's very interesting. So Stapleton will lead it off against Mike Witt. 5-10, and he'll draw a leadoff walk. Stapleton, of course, will not be going anywhere. He will not be held. Witt. Nothing happening. 1-8 for Allenson. Lines it to second. Snagged over there at second base by Mr. Bobby Grich, and there's 1 away. Top of the order for Jerry Remy. Remy. Witt to Remy. 4-5. Ground ball second base A. Another double play. 4-6-3. Double play. Second double play in 3 innings turned by the Angels, and the Red Sox get turned away. It is 7-0 as we go to the 4th. And now the Red Sox will turn to a new pitcher, Bruce Hurst. He is their long man, but they wanted Aponte to get out of the other jam and then pitch an inning and give Hurst plenty of time to warm up, which they now have given him. So Bruce Hurst is now in the game to pitch, and he'll be facing Carew, DeSensei, and Baylor. And I apologize for the noise, but I'm going to have to cut this window unit back on. It's getting a little too warm up here, and the dog's kind of panting a little bit. So I mean, I'm not that hot. I'm a little warm, not that hot, but I don't want the dog panting. And when 7-0, you may not want to hear me anyway. All right, so here is Carew against Bruce Hurst. That's a 2-7 for Carew, and that's a leadoff single. That's what Carew does. He singles. He will not be held. 7-0. I think they're going to go by the convention of baseball that you're not going to run. Baseball etiquette, whatever you want to call it. Here's the Sensei. 2-8 for DeSensei against the lefty. He's going to pop it up to short. And Stapleton puts it away. 1 down for the DH, Don Baylor. Nothing happening. 4-10 against Hurst. Ballpark single. And once again, Fenway strikes again. Base hit. First and second. 1 out. And that brings up Juan Beniquez. 5-5, and that's an in-home run chance to a right-hander. Beniquez, however, has weak power against lefties, so it would not be a home run. Good thing, because that was an 11. So instead of a home run, it's a single 2 stars. That will score Carew. And the Angels now take an 8-0 lead, with Baylor going to third. So runners are at the corners with 1 out. And Bobby Clark, the batter. So Bruce Hurst narrowly missed giving up a home run. 3-8 against the lefty. Ground ball, shortstop B. The infield, of course, is in again with the score being what it is. So again, ground ball, shortstop B. Runners at the corners. We had a similar situation, so we're back to it again with the lead runner being thrown out the plate. So Baylor is out 6-2. Beniquez will take second, and Clark reaches on the fielder's choice. Now there's 2 away. The infield goes back to normal for Bobby Rich. Nothing happening. Hurst 5-4 is going to be a walk, and that's going to load the bases. And now Tabby's chirping, so I'm trying to get through this without so many interruptions, if possible. Tim Foley's up with the bases loaded and 2 outs. 18, nothing happening there. Here's Hurst to Foley. 4-7, and that's a strikeout. He's not tired, so the strikeout will stand. Inning's over. 1 run comes in off of Hurst, and we go to the bottom of the 4th, 8-0. Favor of the Angels. Mike Witt just smiling all the way to the mound with this 8-0 lead. Dewey Evans, the batter. Oops, the D20 didn't go through. Let me re-roll that again. Slipped right out of my hand. Try it again. 1-4 for Evans, and he grounds it to third. Easy play for DeSensei. 1 away for Jim Rice. 2-6, and that's a 1-3 triple. That's a 7 though, so it's going to be a single. 1 out single for Jim Rice. So the Sox have gotten a couple of hits, 3 of them, but they've all been singles. They have the long ball and the extra base hit has seemed to avoid them right now. 1 chance for a wild pitch, which is a 10 on Whip. And it will be a wild pitch. That'll move Rice to second base on the wild pitch. Nothing that time. Here's Yaz, 1-7, and that's a double. 1-7, 1-7's a double. That's a 1. It's a double 2 stars. That wild pitch will mean that Rice will score from second instead of stopping at third. It's an RBI double for Yastrzemski. Red Sox finally on the board. It's 8-1. 8-1. Sometimes that first run is the hardest one to get. Let's see if that creates a flood of runs for the Red Sox. Here is Lansford. 6-2. That's a fly to right. That's 2 down. So 2 down, and that's going to send up Wade Boggs. Nothing happening. With the Boggs, 1-6. He will draw a base on ball. That's a 2 out base on ball. Runners at first and second for Reed Nichols. Nothing happening there. 6-9, and that's a ground ball to short. It's going to end the inning. In fact, it's a ground ball to A, so we'll call it a fielder's choice. 6-4 to end the inning. Red Sox do get on the board finally, but they still trail it by the score of 8-1. So Hurst back out for another inning of punishment, and here is Bob Boone. 4-9, and that's a fly to right, 1 away. Back to the top of the order for Downing. Hope that 1 red dot didn't go through the hole. Let me try it again. 2-6 for Downing against a lefty. That is a double. Double for Brian Downing. One out double. That brings up Carew. Nothing on the Havoc. 5-7, and that's a 1 to 15 single. That's a 14, so it's a single 1 star. Gonna put runners on the corners. Again, the infield has to come in. Down 8 to 1. Gotta play in. 6-11, ground ball pitcher X. He is a 2E12. 2E12, that's a 13. 2 and a 13. So a 2 and a 13 for a pitcher. A 2 and a 13 under a pitcher chart is a G1. And that is a 15. He's an E12. E12 there, and how about that? Under the pitcher E12, that 15 is right there in the error spot. So the run's going to come in on the booted ball by Bruce Hurst. So E1, first error of the game for either team. It will score Downing, and Carew will go to second base. It is now 9 to 1, favor the Angels. What could have possibly been an inning-ending double play turns into disaster. And now Ralph Houck really shaking his head. In fact, he's got Bob Stanley loosening the bullpen. Here's Don Baylor. 6-4, and that's a fly ball center field X. That is Nichols. He's a 3E2. 3 and a 20, he'll get to that. E2 and a 10 should be okay. We will check it. Let's check it here. 3 and a 20 is an F3, which means everybody has to hold. And a 10 on an E2 is no issue. So fly to center, not deep enough for anybody to move up. 2 down, and that brings up Beniquez. Hurst to Beniquez. 1 chance for a wild pitch, and he just uncorked a wild pitch. So Bruce Hurst just threw one in the dirt, got past Allenson. Runners move up to second and third. Base hit can mean 2 more runs. Here's Beniquez. 1-7, and there will be 2 more runs. That's a double. A double for Beniquez. So the wild pitch ensures that it's going to be 2 runs. The 2 stars meant it would have only been 1 run without the wild pitch, but the error and the wild pitch combined, 3 runs in the inning. It is now 10 to 1, and that's going to do it for Bruce Hurst. He is out of there, and Bob Stanley is coming on for the Red Sox. As to call this one a laugher is probably an understatement. It's 10 to 1, and Stanley pitching. 1 chance for a wild pitch with a 2. Nope, no wild pitch. Here's Bobby Clark. 3-4 for Clark, and he struck him out to end the inning. The inning's finally over. 3 runs come in. It is now, I said 10 to 1. It's actually 11 to 1. My bad. It's 11 to 1. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 11 to 1. So if this was Little League, it'd be a 10-run mercy rule, but this is not Little League. So we're going to continue. Witt now facing Stapleton. 3-6, and that's a base hit. Leadoff single for Stapleton. Brings up Gary Allenson. 3-4 for Allenson. That's a walk. So the Red Sox doing what they're supposed to do, and that's get base runners on. Try to keep the train moving. Here's Jerry Remy. Nothing happening. 2-7. That's a strikeout. 1 away, but at least he avoided the ground ball A. So it's only 1 away, and here's the big guys, Dewey, Evans, and Rice coming up. Evans. 5-6. Fly to center field B. Not going to do any good with the runner at second. Got to be at third to move up. So there's 2 down. B question mark. Couldn't do it either. Got to be a B. Got to be on third, I mean. So there's 2 down for Jim Rice. 1 is a potential wild pitch. 6-10. It's another wild pitch from Mike Witt. So we're getting the wild pitches going like crazy. Second and third. 2 down for Jim Rice. Witt to Rice. 3-8. Ground ball back to Witt, and that's going to end the inning. So the Red Sox look like they might get something going, but come up definitely short-handed. We go to the 6th. It is 11-1. Favor the Angels, and unfortunately this game of the week is not a close one like I like them. But sometimes you get like this. Mama said there'd be days like this. Here's Bobby Grich. 3-5 for Grich. That's a leadoff single. Angels continue to pound Red Sox pitching. Here's Tim Foley. Stanley to Foley, 3-9. Ground ball first base B, so we got a 3-6 fielder's choice. As Boggs will throw to Stapleton for the force. 1 away, and here's Bob Boone. Booney against Stanley. 6-11, that's a strikeout for Stanley, so that's 2 down. And that sends it to Brian Downing. Redo that because the D20 jumped ship. In fact, I forgot to roll the D20 for the wild pitch, so let's do that. Nothing happening. Now here's Downing. 4-11. Fly ball left field X. Jim Rice. 3-10. 3-3. That could be trouble. 3-3 is a double 2 stars. Double 2 stars. So that'll put Foley to third, assuming there's no error. That's an 11. And he is an E10. There is no 11, so it's a double 2 stars. Moves Foley to third base. Runners at second and third with 2 down, and that's the second double in a row for Downing. And here's Rod Carew, who's got reached base 3 out of 4 times. In fact, they're going to walk Carew because they're not going to take a chance on all those singles on his card, so they will intentionally walk Carew to load the bases. And pitch to Doug DeCinces with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Stanley 6-10. Ground ball third base X. That is going to be Carney Lansford. He's a 3E14. 3 and a 5. Should be okay. 3 and a 5 it's a G3 with a pound sign, but the infield is not in, so it's G3. That's a 9, and Lansford is an E14. There is no 9, so Lansford makes the good play. And with it being a G3, that means the throw goes to first base. And the Angels leave them loaded without scoring any more runs, so the score stays 11-1. And Mike Witt now will come out. This is his fatigue inning. But Angels certainly have plenty of bullpen pitchers remaining to be used. Red Sox don't. The only pitcher they got in the bullpen left is Mark Clear. So Yastrzemski leads it off against Witt. 5-6. 5-6. He grounds it to first. And Carew takes it to the bag himself. 1 away for Carney Lansford. 4-8 for Witt. That's a 1-6 single. That's an 11 though, so it's a ground ball to third. As DeCinces takes care of it. 2 down for Wade Boggs. 6-9, and that's a ground ball to second. So 3 ground ball outs means Witt is still in good shape. We go to the 7th, still 11-1. Favor the Angels. And I was not expecting a game like this for sure. But as we say, you never know what you're gonna. It's like the old Forrest Gump thing. You never know what you're gonna get. When you start rolling dice, anything can happen. All right, so Don Baylor will lead things off here in the top of the 7th against Mr. Stanley. This will be Stanley's last inning. Then they'll have Clear pitch the 8th and 9th. 5-7 against Stanley. He's not tired yet, so the strikeout is good. 1 away. Here is Beniquez. 1-7, and that's a 1-2 double, but that's a 19, so it's a fly to left. 2 down, so but Stanley trying to go out with a bang. Here is Bobby Clark. 5-7 on Stanley. Again, not tired, so the strikeout is good. 7th inning stretch time. We finally gotten there, but it's 11-1, and the fans at Fenway are stretching, but not very joyous. Not even sure Sweet Caroline could cheer them up at this point. Tabby is restless, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with her. Trying to make her last for 2 more innings. That's going to be it for Stanley, by the way, and Mark Clear. Actually, have Tom Bergmeyer is another pitcher they have, so they could go to Bergmeyer. But I think they're going to Mark Clear because they got a lot of righties in the lineup, so they're going to Mark Clear. Mark Clear is going to be coming on for the Red Sox in the top of the 8th. Witt right now has no marks against his point of weakness, so he will continue. Reed Nichols, 5-4. That's catcher X, and Bob Boone is a 1E3. 1 and a 17 for a catcher. 1 and a 17 is a G2 ground out. That's an 8, and he's an E3. No problem there, just a 2-3 ground out. 1 away, and that brings up Stapleton, the shortstop. What do the Red Sox want to do here? You know what? They're going to start using some pinch hitters. So they got their bench, and on the bench they have, whoops, that's the wrong side. Red Sox have Rick Miller, Rich Gedman, Tony Perez, Glenn Hoffman, and Julio Valdez. So at shortstop for Stapleton, they're going to pinch hit for Stapleton with Rick Miller. And then they're going to have Gedman pinch hit for Allenson. So Rich Gedman's going to come in and pinch hit for Allenson, stay in the game to catch. And then Rick Miller will be the pinch hitter for Stapleton. And then at shortstop, they will use Glenn Hoffman. As the new shortstop. Hoffman at 2E24, so he's actually better. Gedman, defensively, nowhere near as good as Allenson is, but right now you can't worry about that. They're trying to get some run production going for him. So we got Miller and Gedman to lead it off, followed by Jerry Remy. Start the bottom of the 7th. Well, actually, one out already is Nichols is already out. So here is Miller for Stapleton. That's a 6-5 against a lefty for Witt. Ground ball, shortstop X. 6-5, a righty would have been the same thing. Shortstop X, shortstop for the Angels is Foley. He's a 3E12. 3 and 18 is good. E12 and a 9 should be okay. E12 and a 9 for a shortstop is good all day long. So good play for Foley. And going back here, the last 6 outs have all been ground balls by the Red Sox. Haven't got them out of the infield. So that'll bring up Rich Gedman. 6-8, and that's a single. Finally a base hit. Pinch hit single for Rich Gedman. So now Miller is out since he pinch hit, and Hoffman is in. Play shortstop the rest of the way. Gedman also stays in to catch. Here's Jerry Remy. Check for the wild pitch, nothing. That's a 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. We're checking for balk. He's got a balk rating of 2. No balk. Here's Remy. 1-4. That's a ballpark single, so finally the Red Sox get advantage of a ballpark single. Keeps the inning going for Dewey Evans. Witt now 1 batter away, or maybe 2 batters away, I guess, from being tired. So bullpen is working for the Angels as well. Witt to Evans, 1-3. He's going to walk him, and that's going to load the bases. And that might do it for Mike Witt. With Jim Rice coming up, they're going to make a call to the bullpen. Call to the bullpen. And Mike Witt, his day is done, but he's certainly in good shape to get a win. And they will go to, out of their bullpen, Luis Sanchez. 7-4, 3.21 ERA and 5 saves. So right-hander Luis Sanchez will be on for the Angels with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th, and the bases loaded for Jim Rice. Sanchez, strategy roll, nothing happening. 1-6 for Rice. That's a single to left field, and with the score being what it is, they're playing station to station, so only moving up 1. And the bases are still low. Well, with 2 outs, maybe they can try it. Let's see. Remy's a 14. Left fielder is Downing. He's a +2, so they might move him, and they might try to score Remy. Actually, with 2 outs, he gets a +2. Downing's arm's a +2. That's a +4. He's a 14. That's an 18. He was not held, makes him a 19. So anything other than a 20. In fact, they're going to go ahead and concede the run and keep Evans at second base. So it's a 2-run single as they throw to the cutoff man. 2-run single for Jim Rice. It is now 11-3. Those 2 runs are charged to the starter Mike Witt. Here's Yastrzemski. 2, another chance for a balk or a pass ball. Oops, wrong die, my bad. We are checking for a balk, which is a 1-3. No balk. All right, Sanchez to Yastrzemski. 2-6, that's a walk. That's going to load the bases. Bases are now loaded for Carney Lansford. If Lansford can get a hold of one, we have an interesting game all of a sudden. See what he can do here against Sanchez. 4-3, that's a ground ball first base X. That is Rod Carew. It's a 3-E15. Nobody was being held on, so it's an 3-E15. 3-1 though, that's going to get through for a base hit. 3-1 is a single, 2 stars. So Lansford singles, that will score Evans and Rice. 2-run single. Yastrzemski will take third base. Check for an error, that's a 7. Carew's a E15. And there is actually a 7. How about that? First baseman at E15, there is a 7 right there. So it's not only going to be a base hit, 2 stars, it's actually going to be an error, and that allows Yastrzemski to score. And Lansford will take second on the E3. So now both teams committed an error. And for the Red Sox, that's 5 runs this inning. All of a sudden it's 11-6. And don't look now, but we got a tight game. And that's going to be it for Sanchez. He couldn't get it done. He's going to come out of there, and they're going to bring in the lefty, Andy Hassler. He's the one left-hander they have out of their bullpen. In 82, he was 2-1 with a 2.78 ERA and 4 saves. So Andy Hassler is on as Sanchez couldn't get it done. And things get a little bit more interesting. Hopefully the Red Sox faithful did not tune out of this game early, because you never know in Fenway what can happen. Lansford at second. That elusive, they got the first 2 outs to start the inning, no problem, and all of a sudden it was Katie bar the door. So that third out has been desperately elusive. Here's Wade Boggs. 4-9, and that's a walk. So Hassler's going to walk Boggs, and they have batted around as Reed Nichols, who led off the inning, is back out to bat again. So they batted around here in the 7th as Reed Nichols will get another shot. This time with the bases loaded against Andy Hassler. If he gets to column 3, Angels could be in trouble. Nope, it's a column 6, 6-4. That's a fly ball center field X. Center fielder is going to be Bobby Clark. He's a 2-E3. 2-8, he'll get to that. E3, but the E3 could be a problem. Let's see, that's 14. E3, nope, no 14, so it's good play. Inning's over finally. And how about that? Reed Nichols makes 2 outs of 2 of the 3 outs from this inning were made by Reed Nichols. But in the meantime, the Red Sox pick up 5 runs and cut the lead to 11-6 as we go to the 8th. And the new pitcher will be Mark Clear for the Red Sox. Clear, 14-9, ERA of 3 and 14 saves. That leaves Tom Bergmeyer as the only bullpen arm left. And we'll see how the Angels bullpen wants to play it out as we get closer to the 9th inning. Right now it's Bobby Grich is going to lead it off against Mark Clear. Top of the 8th, 11-6. Typical Fenway high-scoring game. Clear 1-6 to Grich is a leadoff walk. That's one thing you got to do in Fenway is not walk guys. You're going to get their hits, but you can't give them free bases. So Grich is aboard. Brings up Tim Foley. Nothing happening. Clear to Foley, 5-8. Ground ball, second base X. Nobody's being held on, so the second baseman is not responsible for holding anybody on. So the second baseman will keep all his fielding prowess, and that's Remy. He's a 3E14. 3E14 for Remy. 3-20 is going to be a double play chance, and a 10, yep, that's a double play. 4-6-3. So Jerry Remy helps him turn 2, and that brings up Bob Boone. 5-7, and that's a 1 for a triple. Anything else is a double. I'm sorry, a single, and that's what it is, a 2-out single for Bob Boone. And now Downing coming up for the 6th time. Nothing on the havoc roll. Here's Downing. 4-11, and that's a ballpark single again. So Fenway's at it again. Another base hit. Runners at first and second. 2 down for Rod Carew. Happening there, and in fact they're going to make a move to the pen. I think they're going to bring in the lefty Bergmeyer. He's the last pitcher they have in their bullpen, but Carew has a lot of single 2-stars on that right hand side, so they're going to make him, if he gets one off the batter card, they're going to make him go off the left side. So Bergmeyer is in, and he on the 82 season 7-0 with an ERA of 2.29 and 2 saves. Tom Bergmeyer is the 5th pitcher used by the Red Sox. And we'll re-roll the havoc because now the new pitcher is in, so I'll check the numbers for him. Nothing's happening. Bergmeyer to Carew to try to get out of it. 2 down. 1-11, and Carew off the left side. 1-11 is a ground ball to short. In the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, still 11-6, California in the lead. And we're going to have Hoffman, the new shortstop, followed by Gedman, and then Remy against the lefty Andy Hassler. And the Red Sox on their bench still have Tony Perez, but you can't pinch hit for Gedman because they have no other catcher. But they do have Perez and Valdez, their 2 pinch hitters remaining. So Perez could come in and pinch hit for Yaz possibly, or Boggs, or whatever the case may be. All right, here is Hoffman to lead it off. 5-7, and that's a ground ball to short. 1 away. Hoffman is retired. Here's Gedman. 3-9, and that's a single for Gedman off the lefty. Base hit. Brings up Jerry Remy. Do you pinch hit for Remy here? That's a possibility. They could use Perez against Remy and put Valdez at short, and then can they play, let's see if Hoffman can play second. Can he play second base? He cannot, so I don't think I have another second baseman out there. I do not. There are no second basemen available for the Red Sox. Jerry Remy is the only one. Stapleton could have played second base, but he's already been used and pinch hit for, so that ends that particular theory. So Remy will have to hit against the lefty. All right, Hassler to Remy. 6-9, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. That is Foley, a 3E12. 3 and a 10. 3 and a 10 is a G2, so we've got a fielder's choice coming up. And that's a 13. He is an E12. There's no 13 there, so it's a 6-4 fielder's choice. Remy will reach. 2 down for Dewey Evans. Still 11-6 game. Hassler to Evans. 6-5. Fly ball to left, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the 9th. Still 11-6. And I think that's going to be all for Andy Hassler. As in the 9th, they will go to Doug Corbett, their closer. And for now, Tom Bergmeyer back out for the Red Sox. He's all they have left. He's got to suck it up and go this 9th inning. Of course, only faced 1 batter, so he should be plenty rested. Here's DeSensei. 3-8 for DeSensei, and that's a leadoff double against the lefty. So Doug DeSensei, leadoff double, brings up Don Baylor. 1, so a 1 for a wild pitch. Nope, no wild pitch. Here's Baylor. 2-9 for Baylor. That's a single to left field. And with nobody out, they will hold the runner at third. So runners at first and third. Nobody out. Infield is in. Beniquez, the batter. Bergmeyer, 3-7. And that's a ground ball shortstop A+. And with that plus, the infield in, that gets through for a base hit. Single 2 stars. Makes it 12-6. So had they been playing back, they could have got a double play. The run would have scored, and that would have been the end of the threat. But when you're down by 5, you have to play the infield in. You really can't afford any more runs, but that's the danger, playing the infield in. Get those plus numbers. Here is Bobby Clark. Runners at the corners, infield in again. 3-9 for Clark. Struck him out, so that's out number 1. So there's 1 away. And that brings up Bobby Grich now. Do you try to turn 2 with Bobby Grich? Or do you play the infield in? I think you still have to play the infield in. I think you can't rely on that double play. Could roll a B. Bergmeyer to Grich, 2-8. Struck him out, so that's one way to do it. 2 down, and now that brings up Tim Foley. Bergmeyer to Foley. Nothing happening there. 2-6. 2-6. Pop out to first, but we have a clutch symbol. So that means this is going to turn to a base hit for Tim Foley. Base hit, single 2 stars when you get that clutch. That's one of the super advanced traits. You get that clutch. 2 outs and runners in scoring position. It turns into a single 2 stars. Another run comes in. It is now 13-6. Favor of the Angels. And Bergmeyer just trying to get that last out. Here's Bob Boone. Nothing happening. 2-9. That's a fly to left. That's going to finally end the inning. But we go to the 9th, 13-6. Angels by a touchdown. And Jim Rice is coming in, and I think with the score, with those extra runs, they're still going to go to Corbett. Might as well. 1-9, 5.13 ERA and 11 saves. So not very good, but they did use him as a closer. So Doug Corbett will be on. 4th pitcher used by the Angels. And he'll be facing Rice, Yastrzemski, and Lansford. Still have Perez on the bench if they can find a spot to use him. 5-7, and that's a leadoff walk. Just what you don't want to have happen when you have a 7-run lead in the 9th inning. Start walking guys. Here's Yaz. Nothing happening. Corbett Diaz. 3-11, and that is it's kind of a weird card there. There's usually a split chance on these triangles, but this doesn't give me a split chance. So I'm just going to call it a single to center, because usually there should be a split that would say 1 to 15 is a single, 16 to 20 is a line out, or some doing like that. So I think this looks like it's a typo of some kind, because that shouldn't be that way. Look at Brian Downing and his triangle. You see he's got the split chance. Halfway for a single, halfway for out. This doesn't provide any numbers. This just says, it gives the symbol for a single and then a line out, but it doesn't say when you go to the line out. So by default, I'm going to have to give them a single. Because I have no way to know what number gets to this. In fact, this being a 6 probably means it would have been a single anyway, even if it was correct. So Yaz will single. And here's Carney Lansford. Gene Mock not happy. He was wanting to get this game over with already. Corbett to Lansford, 3-8. And that's a walk. That's going to load the bases. So wow, 13-6. Maybe those extra 2 runs are going to come in handy for the Angels, because looks like Corbett's ready to give it up here. And the last guy in the bullpen for the Angels, last guy remaining, is Bruce Keeson. He's the last one they have available. So if Corbett craps the bed, they'll have to go that way to Keeson. Nothing there. Here's Corbett to Boggs. 3-7. That's a single, 2 stars. So a 2-run single for Wade Boggs. It's now 13-8. And there's still nobody out. 13-8, and there's still nobody out. Corbett having all sorts of issues. Here's Reed Nichols. Actually, they're going to pinch hit for, this is where they're going to use, because Nichols is 0 for 4 and he even made 2 outs in the same inning. So they're bringing in Tony Perez. They'll figure out the defense later. They need offense. So Tony Perez, this is the spot we're getting a chance to use him. So Tony Perez, the aged one, will come on, pinch hit for Reed Nichols. Re-roll the havoc, nothing happening. Corbett to Perez. 4-10, and it's a ground ball, third base X. Third baseman is DeSensei. He's a 1E23. 1 and a 4. 1 and a 4 is a G1. I'm sorry, 1 and a 4 is a G2. 1 and a 5 would have been a G1. 1 and a 4 is a G2. That's an 11. And he is a E23. Now look at this. Doug DeSensei, an E23 and an 11, which is what we got here. It's a 1 base error on DeSensei. Second error of the game for the Angels. E5. That will score Lansford to make it 13-9. Boggs moves to second base. Still nobody out. And Glenn Hoffman, the batter. And they're going to pull Corbett. And they're bringing in Bruce Keeson. Try to close the game out. Keeson, mostly a starter, but sometimes a reliever. 10-5, 3.17 ERA, 16 starts. Did have 1 save. And right now, he's in a save situation. So Bruce Keeson coming on. And who would have thought there would be a save situation in this situation, but we got one. It's 13-9. So runner on second would make it 13-10. Runner on first would make it 13-11. The batter would make it 13-12. Runner on deck would tie the game. So tying runs on deck, they award a save. I think it's crazy, but that's what they do. And so that means Keeson could qualify for a save. So now the Red Sox only bench player is Julio Valdez, their shortstop, who they could bring in for Glenn Hoffman if they chose. Hoffman's 209, Valdez is 250, so they're going to pull out, plus he's a switch hitter. So they're bringing in Julio Valdez to pinch hit for Hoffman. So it is Valdez. And when you're down, you do anything you can. So Keeson to Valdez. That's a 1. Chance for a wild pitch at a 7. Nope, no wild pitch. Keeson to Valdez. Infield at double play depth. They'll give it the run to get some outs. 3-9 for Valdez, and he struck him out. Glenn Hoffman on a 3-9 would have grounded into a double play. So probably just as well. Because now there's still only 1 out. There's not 2 outs like that double play would have made. So now, runner still at first and second. 1 away. And here's Rich Gedman. 110 for Gedman, and there's your double play right there. 1-6-3 double play and the ball game is over. So Bruce Keeson had to come in and get the save. Red Sox put up 3 in the 9th, but the final score from Fenway Park, it is California 13 and Boston 9. That is your final. Winning pitcher was Mike Witt, losing pitcher John Tudor. Let's get through some of the gory totals on the score sheet. Check out the total number of hits for the Angels. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 hits. 13 runs, 22 hits, and 2 errors for the Angels. For Boston, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12. Okay. 9 runs, 12 hits, and 1 error for the Red Sox. So the Red Sox could not repeat history. They did win the game in real life 7-6, but they fall in this one a score of 13-9. For the Angels, 13 runs, 22 hits, and 2 errors. And for the Red Sox, 9 runs, 12 hits, and 1 error. Winning pitcher was Mike Witt, losing pitcher John Tudor. So lots of runs in that one. I think next week might be a little more low scoring because we start September in the state of Missouri, Royal Stadium, Kansas City, New York Yankees, and the Kansas City Royals. It'll be Shane Raleigh for the Yankees against Larry Gura for the Royals. Couple of lefties on the mound on that September 4th, Saturday, Labor Day weekend. And we'll have it for you next Saturday for the game of the week. So until then, hope you enjoyed this presentation of the NBC Game of the Week, Strat-O-Matic 1982. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And we'll see you all down the road.